Cycle Frontier has a lot of cool gear, but most of it is not very cheap. That means we need a lot of money. Luckily, there are some very simple methods how we can do that, and that's what we're going to look at today. Before making this video, I have looked at many other guides, and most of them are very well put together, but I think they have one major problem, because they are based on one simple principle. For example, going to the jungle and mine the crystals there. That in itself is a good method, but there are still a couple of issues. For one, those are usually guarded by our favorite lizard, and he's not very happy when you just wander around in his jungle. And even if you know how to beat him, you'll make a lot of noise, and that will usually attract other players. Furthermore, you might be unlucky and somebody was here right before you. It takes about an hour for loot to reload, so, well, you'll go out empty-handed. In addition, there's the problem of what happens if you have a bad spawn. Do you walk all the way across the map to reach the jungle and risk possibly dying on the way? I would say no. There are better ways to make money in Cycle Frontier. But how? All you need is basic starter equipment. So a weapon you feel comfortable with, some ammo, simple armor. I like to bring 2 medikits as well, and that is starting equipment of around 5,000 credits. Even less with the insurance, so pretty cheap start. Then let's hop into raid and we take the easy map for starters, and there we go. Now once we land, the first thing we do is open the map. Then take out a fake ruler and draw a straight line from your point to the next exit. This will be our route. Of course, we go a bit left and right. I mean, we want to collect loot, but the principle is very important because we want to get to the exit as fast as possible in a more or less straight line. And that's because of a lot of reasons. To name the 2 most important, it reduces the chance of PvP and it increases our efficiency by a lot. And on the way, you collect absolutely everything. If we encounter monsters, kill the small ones preferably with a knife because noise attracts other players. And really, don't be picky with loot. Take everything, you can sort it out later. Because we really want to fill our pockets as quickly as possible and extract and go into the next raid. There are of course some monsters on the way that are rather difficult to kill with a knife. Then of course take the gun if you have to. Just remember, you're loud then and other people will hear that and probably move into your direction. So just keep going, loot everything you find, but always remember the straight line. You want to go from A to B as fast as possible. Basically, you have to think of yourself as a giant vacuum cleaner. Then of course it will happen that your backpack is full. In that case, it's time to replace if necessary. Now at the beginning you don't really know what's more important than the other. There I would really rely on the rarity or color of an item. Blue is usually more valuable than green, and green is usually more valuable than white. But don't worry too much about that at the beginning. It's not always the case, but it's a very good indicator at the start until you get to know things a little bit better. And once you have arrived at the exit, hopefully with a full backpack, just extract. And of course it can always happen that you have bad luck and everything is already looted. Then extract right away, go into the next raid to keep our efficiency at maximum. In this raid though, we made 13,000 credits and we did this in 5 minutes. And that's exactly the point, because if you calculate how much credits you make per hour, this is a pretty good value. That means around 160,000 per hour. But of course we will also have significantly better rates. Those 14,000 are pretty low, as you will see yourself when you try it. If we compare that now to the crystal method, suddenly the crystal method isn't so lucrative anymore, because we need certainly 10 minutes to just mine the jungle. Then we have to get there, we have to extract, so let's say 15 to 20 minutes for one raid. Then you make 40,000 per raid, that is 90,000 an hour. That's if you don't die once and nobody has ever been in a jungle before you, which is pretty unlikely. So you see, we are already better than the mining method. Even though 50,000 per raid sounds better in the title. Another important point with that method is that you can do missions along the way. I have none in this map left for now, so for me that's relatively difficult to do. But you could also, for example, do jobs. They often allow you to hand in pretty cheap material and get money for it, additional to faction points and to the merchant voucher that you need to upgrade your hideout. But other times, for example, we have missions where you just need to visit the place. Then you just made 7,000 to 8,000 credits just for passing by a place. and this way you naturally progress through the game as well as making a lot of money. So an absolute win-win situation. And a little tip for selling items, I do it this way that I have stacks for certain items that I want to keep, and once there is a second stack right next to it, I know I can sell that one. That makes managing the inventory a lot easier. Then to PvP. We don't really want to put a focus on that, but sometimes we get an opening for a quick snack. Like in this example, I have no idea what those two were doing, but they were somehow busy and I just got killed the first one and then the second one. And voila, I just got a green armor for free. On the landing ship there was even more loot, and do you see what it was? Blue weapon and a lot of good stuff in his backpack. So again, vacuum cleaner, and there we go. Nearly 80,000 credits in a couple of seconds. And we would have missed that opportunity if we were in the jungle. But depending on the spawn, it can make sense to go to the jungle, of course. For example, if we spawn on this side and have an exit right on the other side of the jungle, then yeah, our fastest route goes through the jungle, and there we go. The most important part is that we take the most efficient route and not focus on a single compound. Because this also allows us to see a lot of different places, which means that we also will loot a lot of different items. And that's again very important because it lets us upgrade our hideout. Because I think a lot of people underestimate how much money this hideout brings. A low level hideout can bring up to 20,000 a day. Plus you get additional gear every day. So definitely don't underestimate that. Also, you can kill pretty much every monster on the map with starting gear. Sometimes you have to trick a little bit, and if you're interested I will do a video on that one. But on top of that, with different spots, you learn the different loot spawns, the dynamics on the map, different mobs and so on. And you wouldn't get all of that if you just went to one single place over and over again. And also the devs are looking at what we're doing. So for example, the jungle. They spawned in more lizards to counter the method. Or there was a puzzle on the second map that wasn't guarded and you could get very expensive and even rare gear. But now it's patched. Now 2 lizards are guarding that place. So really be flexible, don't rely on one spot, is what I'm trying to say here. And that's why I think this method is the best one. Land, make a straight line to the exit, loot everything along the way and extract. This way you lower the chance of running into other players, you get a lot of different loot that you can use to upgrade or sell, you can do missions, progress through the game, and will slowly learn everything there is to know about the map. So it's really win. And eventually you also find keys, and with them it's even more lucrative. That's when we quickly get into the range of 20 to 20,000 per run, and that's $250,000 per hour. That's an incredible amount of money. I would even say that you don't even need that amount of money, because in the end you can only craft armor and attachments and so on. The only thing you can buy really are the default items and weapons. But with this method you will definitely have enough money to buy some really impressive guns. And that's it. I hope this video was helpful. If so, don't forget to thumbs up, as it really helps the channel. If you have questions, feel free to ask me in the comment section down below. Für die Deutschen unter euch, besucht mich doch mal im Stream. Na dann, good luck in Cycle Frontier.